You know, I think that you know what I'm gonna say. Do you have a clue?
Nah.
Anybody? Anybody?
What's up, guys? Trace Tech here.
That's definitely not what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, "What's up, people? You have now reached another episode of another one." So today's episode, we will be talking a little bit about what is happening now. Everybody's so excited to hear what's happening now.
They
So
are.
yeah, what we'll talk about today is stuff that's been going on with Team Bees. Okay, as you know, this is another one, the Team Bees live family podcast. So, if you've noticed, also, we call this thing a podcast. But for right now, we're going to talk about where this show is going. And over this last week, we've actually, yeah, clap for where we're going. We're going to talk about what has been transpiring over this past week. So to do that, we actually let's just start here at the team itself. So today we have in the studio we have K Swizzle, Khadijah RBZ, Trey Bees,
What's up, guys?
and yours truly, Rich B. Um, if you're actually listening to us live right now, then you would see who's not here. But it's all good. We'll continue on and do the show as usual. So, this past week has been full of things for another one. Um, the first thing we want to talk about that we've been doing this week is kind of planning out where the show is going. So, I wrote a blog post about it, and we'll talk about it a little bit later, probably in the next segment, about the actual website. But I do want to kind of talk about what I wrote on this post because in this post, I kind of talked about where we're going with this show. So our plan is actually to build more with the show and get more involved with the people who listen, which are you, right? We want to make sure that we're giving you, access, that you're being able to communicate back with us and giving us ideas and stuff like that that you want to hear us kind of talk about because we have those type of um, thought processes that we can kind of take a subject and go all over the place with it, right? So anyway, back to what we're talking about with the show. So we do this show live. We do it live every Sunday,
Oh,
5 p.m.
yes.
Eastern Standard Time. And you can watch us live on youtube.com/dynamic TV. That's where you can see us live.
That's DYNAMIK TV.
That's right. Great job, Trey Bees. This dude is going ham with the claps. So, um, here's the thing though. Yes, we go live every Sunday. And we've talked to a lot of people who, they wanted another way to be able to catch us on demand when they had the ability to. Okay. And YouTube is that platform. So, I mean, people could do that through the YouTube platform.
They definitely could.
Yeah, yeah, but I think a lot of people have a lot of issues when it comes to data plans because these days data plans are really costly, and so
Just a little bit.
yeah, just a little bit. And so when you stream from YouTube, one show from another one could definitely run you somewhere in the 200 megabytes on your data plan. You know,
That is something else.
that is something else. Look at that. Look at that data. Look at that data. We're just sucking that data up. So,
Mm,
but
boy. Mm.
So we wanted to make it easier, right? We wanted to make it easier for people to actually listen to the show, who want to listen to the show and also want to listen to it when they have the time and ability, right? And so to do that, and also to give you that connection to the Team Bees family, and another one show, we created a website. That's right, a website. This website is not just for another one though. This website is for Team Bees. So
Yay.
that's right. That's right. Let's be excited about that because each member of Team Bees actually has their own blog, right?
Oh, wow.
So if there's a member of the Team Bees family that you want to kind of connect with a little more and be able to,
Me.
kind of see what they're doing and
Mm.
things they're talking about, right? Then
Oh,
you can
me.
actually go to teambees.com. You can go right now, as a matter of fact. That's
Yeah.
TEAMBZ.com. If you go to teambees.com, you can see all of the posts that Team Bees is doing in the blog world.
Do you have an app?
Yeah, you can look at it through your mobile browser. So I mean, it's all good for now. We may get to an app later, but that's not really on our plan for where we're going with the show. Not necessarily. Okay, that may be something we pull in later. But let's talk about these blogs. Okay, because here's the thing.
These
Every,
blogs.
these, everybody has one, right?
Huh.
So I want to kind of talk about, or get the gist of each person's blog, so that way you guys will know, and the more you know, then the more you may want to connect with each individual member. Okay, but like I said, it all sums up and all comes in to the teambees.com site. Okay, so let's start off here with Khadijah RBZ and her blog. Khadijah, can you tell us a little bit about your blog? Because I kind of think I know where your blog is headed, but I want to hear it from you.
Well, it's just a site that provides information about health and wellness, oils, fitness, gut checks, gut health, all that good stuff that I like to talk about. It's a blog about the things that I enjoy.
Okay, well, that's a great thing because I mean, I think everybody needs to know about gut health and wellness and things like that. Okay, and the oily thing is a thing that you really need to get up on because those oils that she has is amazing. Okay, they do amazing things. I'm not gonna make
There
no
are some.
claims here. They're so what?
There are something else. There are just something else.
So anyway, go head over to the teambees.com site. You can click on Khadijah RBZ up in the menu bar and check her stuff out. It's some great stuff. So
And
next,
it's a work in progress, so,
it, yeah, it
it'll
is
be every day.
WIP. Work in progress.
it is a work in progress. I
Whip.
mean, it's a whip. We're actually, I mean, but all this is a work in progress. The show itself is a work in progress. And just so you guys know, if you're streaming live, you noticed it. But if you're not, then you didn't notice that Love Kalia is now on the podcast.
Hold up, wait a minute. We don't make those noises when Khalid comes on the show.
so, so next blog that we're going to talk about that's all coming into the teambees.com site is Love Kalia. So, Love Kalia, talk a little bit about your blog.
Well, um, my blog is just kind of what I find interesting. I feel like it's kind of me. It's just not about me, but the different aspects of me, of the things that I like that I think other people want to know about, like music and fashion and things that I find interesting.
Hmm.
Ah.
Okay. Well, I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Like, there's people that may want to connect with you and kind of, hear those viewpoints that spew out on the show sometime. They want to get more information
Really?
or listen to a little bit more of what you say. So that's why I want to make sure that people, we're highlighting these things that we have going on. So, Case Swizzle, up next. What's your blog about?
Well, first, my my blog is called hellokaya.com, and you can just go there um, my tagline is fashion and everything else because it's like everything, but mostly fashion. So if you're looking for everything with a little bit of fashion,
Looking for everything with a little bit of fashion. Now that's funny. Well, there is one more member of the team, right? There is a member named Trey Bees, but
Yeah.
Trey Bees does not have a blog, people. Trey Bees
See,
does not have a blog. So why
whack,
don't you have a blog, Trey Bees?
whack. Well, I do have a blog. Okay. I just don't know what I'm gonna do. What I'm gonna do my blog about. Like, it's just probably just gonna be a whole bunch of random stuff. I
Okay.
figure
because you are definitely
trash.
random.
I don't think that's what's going on.
Yeah, you're random.
Yeah,
Trash.
you're definitely random. I mean, you talk about all kinds of subjects, and I think one of the things that we were saying about you is that you're like the what's the word for it? What did I call him earlier today?
I have no
Random
idea.
scrapbook.
He's like the keeper of useless information. Like
Oh yeah.
It's
yeah,
not useless because in a zombie apocalypse, you could probably use all this information about why they made passports and what
Well, we
passports
thank
mean.
God that we don't have to look forward to a zombie apocalypse.
right.
Okay.
But if we do, we'll be sure to make sure that Trey Bees brings you all the information you need to know when dealing in a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
Okay, so make sure you check out his blog, which is to come. It's a whip. Well, it ain't even a whip. It's like a nothing ip.
Nothing in progress. I don't think that's
Exactly,
a
nothing
dip.
in progress. It is a nip. So anyway, all right. So last but not least, Rich Bees, yours truly. So here's what my blog is basically about. It's about almost everything. Now, when I say everything, I'm talking about everything that has to do with another one. Everything that has to do with Team B's, everything that has to do with where we're going with the show and all of that kind of thing, right? And now, just so you know, coming real soon to Rich B's blog post near you, you can actually get little video snippets because I'm out and about and I shoot video for myself, about myself, talking about myself and things that deal with just me. So
That
make
sounds
sure you check
insane.
out the Rich Bees blog on the teambees.com website. All right. Check each one of them out. You know, subscribe to them if you want. You can do all kinds of things on there, but just make sure that you're reading and keeping up with what we're doing and what's going on. Okay, because we know you want to be involved and we want you to be involved. On to the next subject. Another one. We said that you wanted. We know. We hear you out there. You want to get these on demand, right? So what I did was I actually made it accessible to the website. So now you can go to the teambees.com site, click on either another one, or you may see the blog post on the homepage, but you can actually listen right there on the website for to every show that we've done. Okay, you can listen to any show and comment and all that kind of thing right there on the shows on the website teambees.com. I'm telling you, we're putting some things together for you guys because we want you to be involved, and hey, we love you guys. That's why we kind of talk about this stuff.
How much does it cost to listen to it?
It's actually free. That's
Are
right.
you serious?
Won't cost you a dime. It won't cost you a dime. It might cost you some time, but it didn't cost you a dime. So guess what though? Guess what?
What?
We've actually made it even more accessible for you guys to get our show on demand because this is called another one, the Team B's Family Live Podcast, right? So if that's the point, it's called live, but we've never actually got to the podcast point. So now we do have a podcast, and the podcast is live on iTunes right now.
Oh wow!
And we just dropped the first 4 episodes of another one. So when you go on there, you can actually subscribe and hear each of the episodes. But the thing about it is when you subscribe through the podcast is you actually will get them on demand. So the day that they drop, it'll automatically populate on your phone and you can just listen. Yeah, it'll populate. Matriculate to your phone. Yeah. So, but what's gonna make it really good? That's right. That was a great sound because what's gonna make this really, really good, and what's gonna make the iTunes subscription even better is the fact that you're gonna get bonus cast.
Wow. It's like Blu-ray DVDs. You
What
know,
does that
you know
mean?
how they have the extra bonus scenes or whatever if you get a Blu-ray. So kind
Okay.
of like that.
I mean that's actually pretty good, but I mean, okay. So I think what they really want to know right now is these bonus clips, right? These bonus casts. What actually are you gonna get? Okay, so here's what you're gonna get when you actually subscribe to the iTunes podcast of another one. You on these bonus clips, you'll get life situations that we kind of talk about behind the scenes. That's right, because I'm audio recording a lot.
Isn't that illegal?
Huh?
Isn't that illegal?
No, because we do shows.
No, 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 no.
Hey. We talked about this on the secrets episode.
Yeah, so like you
That's
can't
right.
not tell us that you're recording.
Hey, it's in my car.
Hey, but you didn't tell us.
It's in my car.
But you didn't tell us, so
Hey, now you know. And no one is half the battle. G.I. Joe.
okay.
So anyway, you're gonna get these behind the scenes talks, right? Which you never know what we're gonna talk about. So it'd be all kind of things. But hey, anyway, so you get the bonuses, okay? And then you can also review the show and you can give us feedback. So what we really want is for you guys to go jump on the Team B site. You can actually subscribe to the podcast there too without having to go to iTunes. It'll take you there automatically. Okay, so we definitely want your feedback. We definitely want your reviews. And also, we want you to be able to get those behind the scenes clips. All right, life as we know it and as we do it. All right, so
Wow.
on to the next piece. The next piece, and then I'm out of here. Here it is. So the next piece is another one is actually looking for sponsors. Right, we need sponsors for the show, and we know that you out there in podcast land want to sponsor this show because you love our content. You do. We know you do. We love our content too. We actually have a lot of fun doing this. And that's one of the things
Yeah.
that, we want to. Matter of fact, you know what? What are some fun things that has actually happened while we've been doing this show?
Mhm.
Well, I guess some people are not showing up. That's really fun.
What?
All right. Well, I mean, what else? What other things might
When
be?
we have technical difficulties.
Oh, now those happen regularly.
Yes.
But I
So
guess
fun.
I guess that's some of the things that happen when you're streaming a show live. You can run into all kind of things.
That's why we
Mm.
should get Google Fiber.
Well, I mean, I don't necessarily think it's always the internet though. I think sometimes it's just, hey, you know, we're whipping over here. Work in progress. Yeah. Hey, people use different acronyms and stuff like that, and I'm gonna jump on them, especially if it's funny to me. But anyway, so because we are TV and we actually deal a lot in health and wellness, look, doing this show can sometimes be a little stressful. Okay, it can be. It can be a little stressful, and so for us, we figure ways to get around stress, figure out ways to stay healthy, well, whole, and usually it's all driven by Khadijah RBZ. So This week in family health and wellness, what are some things that we've done this week to actually become more healthy?
Well, I mean, we do things all the time, but that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about this 18-year
Version.
old doctor that was in the news this week.
So are you telling me that we're going to switch this over from health and well? I mean, I guess
It
it
is
was
Yes,
health and
yes,
wellness.
it. Yeah,
yes. That's what she's
I'm talking
saying.
about a
Go
doctor.
ahead and switch.
news, health
This
and wellness.
this 18-year-old boy was posing as a doctor.
Wow.
He was providing health services to people within the community. This dude charged a lady $3,500. 35. She was having stomach pain, severe stomach pains. He charged her $3,500 for his service.
But but
Now
but, but
he is saying that he didn't, but she is saying that he paid him $3,500.
but here's my thing about that one. So first of all, you said that he was 18.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know any 18-year-old that looks like the age of a doctor that can even closely pass for the age of a
Well,
doctor.
I mean, I've seen some 18-year-olds. Matter of fact, I know a 17-year-old that looked like somebody's daddy.
Oh boy.
Like, and I'm not
Okay,
even playing. He got the full
okay.
beard. He's big and buff. Like, he looked like maybe if he put on a doctor outfit, he could pass for a doctor. Now, it's the lady's fault that she didn't do no certification type stuff. Check his
Now the
Okay.
license.
well, the thing about it is he says that he's not portraying himself as an MD, which is a medical doctor, but he is saying that he has a PhD. He
What?
won't say
Yeah,
what he
he ain't
he
say
won't
what.
18-year
say.
old with a PhD?
Right. Well, I mean,
There are some people who are young and have a PhD.
young but not 18.
Geniuses I'm talking about who get
Okay,
things
well,
stuff.
he's not a genius, and he hasn't been declared a genius, and he doesn't have a PhD in what does he have a PhD in? Nothing. He has a PhD in trying to get over on people.
He's
But the trip part about this story that I really want to get to is that even though he is an 18-year-old and he is not a doctor, he has not had any type of training. There was an investor that invested $10,000 for him to set up and establish a um, office.
Now this is the same dude who actually was in the hospital with a doctor's robe on with his name on it. I mean coat with a doctor's coat and a stethoscope. That's the same dude, right?
How does that work? Yes. How does that work?
I don't know. I don't know how he got away with that stuff.
How does that work?
The part that you just said though was somebody who actually invested into his business.
Right.
Like who actually invest in an 18-year-old because if you have a partner and the partner is supposed to be the one putting up the money, they know how old you are,
Well, they should.
and they should also know whether you actually have any kind of certification or PhD or MD or anything.
The person who invested in him said that he told him that he was a natural doctor, and so for that reason he just went with it.
A natural doctor.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Because, well, I don't know. According to him and his website, he says that he treats people with the air and the water and the dirt, the earth. I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Wow. I mean that means that
The
anybody
wind.
anybody could just go ahead and open up a practice and say that they're what did you call it?
A natural doctor.
A natural doctor.
And I
Yeah.
mean that's the unfortunate thing about it. That's why people need to do their due diligence and do their homework and make sure that when they're going to any type of doctor, whether it's a MD or whether it's a naturopathic doctor or a holistic doctor, whatever kind of doctor it is, they just need to make sure that they do their research.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do something because that's the straight get over move. Like that's con man 101.
He was 18.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't even see it. I couldn't even see it because when you listen to him, like when he was on the news, like you can tell he's not of age.
Mm-mm. You can tell that he doesn't have a. I mean, he might be a smart person and have, some knowledge and everything, but you can tell that he's not. He doesn't have the experience.
Right, the schooling,
Yeah, he doesn't have the acumen.
acumen. What does that mean? We have a new word here, ladies and gentlemen, and I've never heard that word, so that's something new for me. Acumen. That sounds like acupuncture.
Well, it's definitely not acupuncture.
So I mean, I guess if you want to talk about health and wellness for your family, and things that you can do better, which is check, check, check before you go to any of these physicians and figure out what their credentials are about.
Right, and then not just that though. When you do get one, don't be afraid to ask questions, because
Oh, that's so serious.
yeah, and I'm not going, get off subject because it's almost time for us to wrap this up. But ask questions, because at the end of the day, it is your life, it is your health, it is your wellness that is on the line here. And if you don't ask questions, then you're not going to get the information that you need. And don't feel like just because someone is telling you something that is the end all, that's
Right,
where the buck stops, because it's not.
right. That's exactly right. So, I mean, that's just at these doctor's appointments though, there are a lot of people who are afraid to question, afraid to ask, afraid
There are,
to
and I think that one of the things that doctors learn when they're in school is how to fast talk you and how to over talk you and how to keep time short. And so that makes you feel like you're in a rushed environment and you can't really think through what they're telling you. And so they only say what they have to say and you're left with that.
Honestly, when I go to the doctor, I feel like that they just want to, like, I understand that they're supposed to ask you questions and whatnot, but I feel interrogated about myself.
interrogate it.
And I can
Yeah.
understand how that might be the case.
Like I don't honestly I
But
don't like going to the doctor because they want to know too much.
well, I mean, in order to ensure your health and well-being, they do have to ask questions. But
Yeah.
my thing is, like, if you have a concern and you're bringing your concern to them, how is their response? You know what I'm saying? Are they
Yeah,
just
yeah.
telling you this, that, and that, and then that's what you're supposed to go with? Are they really trying to get an understanding of what's going on so that you together can process through it? And I think that now that's not what doctors do. So that's why I'm saying it's very important that you do your due diligence, that you make sure that you're doing your research, that you make sure that you're asking. Word of mouth is very important, and not just word of mouth, but also um, reading, reading reviews. What has the doc call
Yeah.
the doctor's office, ask the doctor, like, one thing that I'm real big on is customer service. And if this doctor has you sitting around waiting, then they are not, and if it's, I understand that sometimes it may happen, like every once in a while, you might go there, there's a backup or whatever, things happen, I get it. But if it's like that every time you go, you might need to explore other options.
Right. I mean, that the part that kind of makes me a little um, upset when you go to doctor's offices is when you're back there and you're talking to them and they are like, you ask them a question, but they don't actually give you an answer
Oh yeah, I don't like that either.
because it's almost like they don't know the answer.
Right. And my thing is, if you don't know, that's fine. We human. We don't know everything. Just tell me you don't know. You'll find out or something.
Right. Yes, something like that.
I can appreciate that a little better than you making up something or not answering my question. Because then that makes me feel like you don't think that my concern is important.
Exactly. Because I mean, if they're sitting there, and they're beating around the bush, or they say something that you know in yourself. You're like, what? Now that don't make no sense.
Right. You know,
That
like
don't make no
somebody,
sense.
if somebody asks you, okay, well, when was the last time you had caffeine? Or, do you drink caffeine or do you drink coffee or whatever? And you tell them that the last time you had caffeine was in December. It's now February, and they act like the caffeine is still in your body since then. Get out of here.
Right. For doing 2 months?
Right.
Like,
It never leaves out your body. What are you talking about?
right, right. I mean, and now I can see if they were talking about, some kind of a drug of choice, but a lot of these things are out of
But
your system
even
in the next 3 days to a week,
right,
especially if you don't do them anymore. But
right.
but man, I just don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, and if you don't understand, then you don't need to be practicing. Like, and if because to me, you're dealing with somebody's health and wellness,
Yeah.
and if you feed them the wrong drug or you feed them the wrong information, then what happens? You can lose one,
Yeah.
you know
Another
and
one bites the dust.
right, and it shouldn't even, like, you should be, what's the word for it? You should be like excited to see people's health go up.
Right. Right. That's my thing. Because then that means that you're contributing to someone's longevity.
Exactly, and that should be, I mean, that should be the reason why you even got into it.
Right.
Right, I mean,
Right.
because most people become doctors and stuff like that because they, want to help people, at least
Right.
from my understanding. Okay, but now as I've gotten older and you start to deal with them a little more because you're getting older,
Mhm. Mhm.
what actually happens is you realize that they really don't care about people.
Mhm.
They more so care about their money, and they want to sit here and bill you for things that are services that you, one, either didn't get done, or for a service that you only needed part of the service, you didn't need the whole service, and they want to bill you for double that.
Yeah, Rich, we
Like,
could go on and on.
oh my gosh, could we
Yeah.
on this topic here? You know
Yeah.
what? And you know what? We might need to do some kind of a periscope or blab. I would love to do a blab on this one.
Yeah, I don't know.
I really would. Because
You
because then we
know,
could get people jumping in, and
yeah, you get people jumping in, but the man got his ear out for you.
yeah. Well, they need to change this medical industry because this is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's very expensive, and you get wrong information, and it's all run by the pharmaceutical companies, and everybody knows it, but nobody does nothing about it. So that's my rant and rave for today. I'm gonna get off that soapbox and I'm gonna move on. Okay. So if you're listening now and you hear this and you want to get in on the conversation, hey, come to the website teambees.com, or you can hit us up on our social media because we're always on social media. So last but not least, before we get up out of here, I want to throw it over to Kalia real quick. Love Kalia because I want to hear what's going on this week in college life. Give us an update.
Well, we had our last home game this week. They won. The boys won. The girls, they lost horribly,
What
but
sport?
basketball. And we danced at our last games. That went really well. Let's see what else. I've come to the
Did you say you
conclusion.
danced at your last game?
Yeah,
What do you mean danced?
like halftime.
Oh, you danced.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Okay.
What?
Anything else?
I mean, the whole team danced, but
The whole dance team.
yeah, 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 exactly.
Okay. I
Um,
don't know whether our listeners actually knew that you were a part of it.
oh well, fun fact, Khalid's a part of the dance team.
Fun
All
fact.
right, fun fact.
um, and yeah, I've noticed that people are I don't want to say rude,
Mm-mm.
but they don't understand. I don't know. I don't know.
Mm.
Like, because I mean, if you tell someone no, They don't understand that.
Okay, no to what?
Yeah, no to what?
Like, okay,
Like, are you saying no, you can't have a bite of my sandwich? Are you saying
No to
no,
no,
you
sex.
can't drop the
no,
draws? Like, you
like,
saying no, I don't want to go to the
Yeah,
party with you? Like,
what?
no, hold on,
no.
let me talk,
No
let me
can be
talk.
so many splendid
No,
things.
no to,
Right.
so, okay,
No, I
me
do
and
want
me
that
and my
roll.
me and my hallmates, we went out to a party.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
And like, I guess, like, I don't want to dance with you. Like this, I mean, I have nothing against short people, nothing against it. But I just
What?
it,
What? Somebody said something about short people?
yeah,
She
I have
said she
no,
don't want to dance with no short person.
I mean, that has nothing to do
You
with
don't want to dance with
anything.
me?
No, Daddy, I have no problem with
I'm
dancing
clear
with
shorter
you.
than you.
Right.
Oh, so you're talking
But
about somebody that's shorter than you?
yes.
They're a midget then. Leave them alone.
Oh, stop.
No, but I'm just okay. So like he was asking me, he was like, "You gonna dance with me? It's my birthday or whatever." I was like, no,
Oh,
I'm
happy birthday.
okay. I'm
Bye.
okay. And like all his friends was like, "You gonna leave my man's hanging like that? Like you're not gonna dance with
Yes.
him?" I was like,
Yes,
"Yeah, I'm
yes,
not
I
gonna."
am.
For real, I am gonna leave him hanging like that. Like I don't want to dance with him. And it's not even the fact that he was just short. He just came off as wrong. I don't want no, just no. And he was not taking that as an answer. So
Mm.
I gave my girls the
Ladies love
look.
that. The persistence.
Not after I say no, but I gave my girls the look. I was like,
Oh, not your
give it,
girls.
Girls.
Your
yeah.
girls.
Yeah, because I was like, this dude will not leave me alone. And so, they grabbed my hand and was like, pulled me to the center of the circle so I could escape the madness because it was just crazy.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Yeah, and then after that, he went to one of my friends and started dancing with her, and it was
Another time.
another time. And then one of them asked to take a shower with one of
Okay,
my
please stop.
friends.
Please stop.
I'm not even
What
lying. I'm
is
not
going down
lying.
in college life?
I was like, what? Take a shower? One of my friends says he don't even look like he takes showers.
Oh, Lord.
Like, get
Because
out of
people that are four
here.
foot five don't take showers.
Kaya.
Kaya doesn't know. Y'all doing the
Wow,
most.
that is the most.
It really was.
Mm, mm,
That was
mm.
about as interesting as my week got. Yeah.
Wow. Well, before we get off here today, um, here's what I wanna I wanna send a shout out to one of our longtime viewers, Kale Tamika.
Woo woo.
Tamika Kale?
Well, it says Kale Tamika. I don't know which name she wants to go by, but but Miss Kale Tamika, I'm gonna go ahead and read your comment on the air. So she commented when we were talking about the doctors. So I'm gonna go ahead and read it on air. I don't know whether she wants me to, but so sorry for you.
Oh,
Miss Kale
no.
Tamika, we love you. So here you go. Doctors are so desensitized and they should be made to take breaks for their physical and emotional health.
I agree.
Yes, we definitely agree with that. She said, I used to work in a hospital and I remember doctors taking smoke breaks while someone was dying. Shaking my head.
Oh, no.
I don't even know what to say about that.
Wow.
Doctor taking smoke breaks.
Right, let's
Well,
start there.
I mean, to each his own. But
No,
I
ain't
mean,
no.
I don't think I don't.
No.
And
Well,
I'm
it
sure
is
that
to each his
I
own.
I'm
mean, you
sure
know
that
the
that
health
doctor probably says to
effects
their
and the
patients,
risks.
you shouldn't be smoking,
And then turn
and
around
then
and
turn
smoke.
around and
Like,
puff,
you know
puff,
caffeine
pass.
can do that.
What?
I mean, I feel you.
Practice what you preach. Now, see, that's the thing about me. I'm not a doctor. Let me please put that out there. I
Yes,
am not a doctor.
you are not.
However, I'm not going to tell
Yes.
somebody to do something that I have not done or will not do. Like, I'm not going to tell somebody they need to eat fruits and vegetables if I don't eat it. I'm not going to tell somebody they need to drink water if I don't drink it. I'm not going to tell somebody that they need to be having regular bowel movements if I don't make a conscious effort to ensure that what I'm doing contributes to regular bowel movements.
She's not gonna
Well,
people do
I'm not going
lunges
to
all
tell
the way
you to
down a
go.
track
if she's not gonna do them.
That's right. I'm not gonna make you do 100 meters of lunges if I'm not gonna do it too.
But not just only that, but I'm not going to suggest that somebody use an essential oil, being that I'm into essential oils, and it's not something that I would use.
I mean, that's true. But you are
Different.
the 1%,
Yeah.
because there are a lot of people out here who do not practice what they preach.
Well, yeah.
Hypocrites.
You know, I mean, you can call it what you want to, but there's a lot of people
That's
who
what it's
they'll get on
called.
social media and they'll say. I mean, some people call it leading people astray. I mean, you can call it all kind of things. There's different words for it. But what I'm saying is, people will get on social media and they'll say things about people doing something, or that they do something, or that somebody else should do, or something like that, but yet they don't do it themselves. Like, there's a lot of people on social media that says, hey, you should work out, you should be, you should go and be a part of blah 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 or whatever, but they're not really a part of it. They're not really doing it. They're not really,
I got you.
they got their motivational posts that they were like, you should stay focused and this, that, and the third, and
And
they
and
ain't
they
focused. They defocused like a mug. You know what I'm saying? So I think all of that stuff plays a part into people being real.
yeah,
Because if you're real, then you're gonna do what you say, and you're gonna say what you do.
right.
And
Right,
really and
you right.
truly, I mean, the say what you do part, that part don't really matter, because the thing about it is, you don't really have to broadcast what you do,
You know what?
because
Let me tell you that. Oh, Rich, you brought me to what I've been feasting on in the Word of the Lord this week. We have extended our time, but we got it. We good.
yeah, we
What?
thank you for staying with us through this
Yeah,
time.
yeah, because we went a little long. But the scripture I've been reading Matthew 12, and just kind of resting there. But a part of that is that you will know a tree by its fruit. And so, no, you don't have to sit here and broadcast to someone that you work out. You don't have to do that. You don't have to get on social media and, show your before and after pictures all the time. You don't. Because the thing about it is, there'll come a point where people will just be able to see it. That's like when you saw somebody the other day at the store that you hadn't seen in years, and the dude was like, because he couldn't quite put his finger on it, but he was like, "You running or something? You working out?" Because he could tell, he
Yeah,
could see a difference. And I really think that sometimes we try to put stuff out there, and I don't know how we got all the way here, but even the word says that you'll know a tree by its fruit. So whether it's good or whether it's bad, you're going to know what type of tree it is by the fruit that it bears. So by the lifestyle that you lead, you will be able to know what you're doing or what you're not doing.
you're right. You're
So
right.
even when people come to me sometimes, and there's, like I had someone that we hadn't seen in years at the store the other day who saw me and was like, "Hey, can we get together so I can talk about what I can do to improve my health?" And so I had to let her know, "Hey, I'm not like certified in nutrition or anything like that." And she was like, "But the thing about it is I can see. I can see." And I think that that makes a big difference, whether it's from a spiritual perspective, a mental perspective, even a financial perspective. When your finances in check, you don't have to sit here and broadcast to people that your finances are in check.
Ooh, ooh, ooh,
You
ooh,
know what I'm saying?
ooh. Tell
You
them.
just walk different. You act different.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
even if it's unconsciously.
Yeah, but you have a certain level of comfortability or confidence, because hey, I'm in a good place.
Oh, you do business deals different.
You're right. That's
Because when your
right.
finances are right, you won't deal with everybody.
That's right.
You'll pick and choose who you deal with, because you want it to be profitable for you and the person whom you choose to deal with.
That's
Because
right.
when you have your finances right, you can choose to choose
Hmm.
who you want to work with.
That's right.
You don't have to take every Tom, Dick, and Harry.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's you're right. You're right. So I mean, I
I'm
even think about
serious.
that from a perspective of like friendships. The kids, when they're making friends, whether it's at college, Kalia, or whether it's in high school, Kaya, or middle school, Trey, you know, who are you surrounding yourself with? What type of fruit are you bearing? What type of fruit do they bear?
Right, right. Because if every day you go to school and they asking you for your homework and they asking you for your answers and they asking you to borrow a pencil and they asking you to, hey, let me use your computer with you, all this kind of things, you might need to have a little heart to heart and, see what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing about it is maybe they just don't have the finances to be able to buy the things that they need. Okay, so you understand that and so you can help them out,
Right.
if you're in a position to help out, you
Mm.
know. But all in all, if they just constantly latching and pulling and grabbing and wanting and needing and using and abusing and then when you get in public and it's lunchtime, and y'all walking together, they don't even want to be seen with you really. They trying to like sit at a different table than you. They ain't trying to be around you. They're not, all that kind of stuff.
Oh
I mean,
boy.
hey, you got those people.
Yeah, you
Those people
do.
that they your friend in class, but they ain't your friend out in the streets.
Hey, that's
Hello.
that's right.
Hello. Say it again. Say it
I'm
again
serious.
for
I
the
mean,
people in the back.
we could take it to relationships too. There's people out here who, hey, they're your friend when they coming over your house late night,
You better stop.
but they ain't your friend once that night's over, once daytime kick
You
in,
better
Once
tell
the
it.
sun
You better
come up,
once the
tell it.
sun come up. Tell them they ain't your friend no more.
you
They,
better stop it.
they ain't sending you no hey baby texts during the day.
Uh-uh.
You know,
Uh-uh.
nah, they thinking about you only in the midnight hour.
In the midnight hour, late in the midnight
You
hour,
know
they just
what
trying to turn something
I'm
around.
saying? Oh my gosh, and that's why our podcast
Oh
on
boy.
iTunes is actually labeled as explicit.
What?
Yes, it is. It is because it's still a part of kids and family, and it's still a part of I forgot the other topic. Personal journals. Okay, so it is a part of those two topics. However, you know, last week, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Love Kalia was on here and she talked about somebody
Oh yeah,
and a thumb up the yes,
yeah.
yeah, which basically jacked up our rating. But then I listened to another one of our shows, and there's times
My
that
bad.
we kind of push the envelope on that border,
But I
but
mean,
because we're being real,
we push that
we're being
envelope in our conversations all the time.
right. I think we should be more like TV 14.
Mm-mm.
You know what it's called, TV 14, the rating
Mm-mm.
before you get to like R, yeah, or no, before you get to NC 17. So hey, you definitely want to have parental guidance is suggested because our topics are things that we think about, and this is the way that we handle our family. This is the way that we talk because we talk about some of everything. Okay, so it's all free reign, it's all open. We can talk about everything, but you just have to be mindful on what you say and the words you choose to use because those words do mean something.
That's right. That's another thing that I've been talking about. You will be held accountable for every vain word that you speak. So be careful.
Mm, mm,
And
mm,
your words have power. Your words are seeds, and you are planting them each and every day.
mm.
So
Right,
be careful what you say about yourself and be careful what you say about other people.
that's right. The power of life and death are in the tongue.
It's all in it.
So what we want to do is thank you guys for joining us today, for listening, for taking your time out to actually, be a part of our conversation. We thank you for your comments. We thank you for your suggestions all in advance because we do this so people can have a window of how we function as a family.
Mhm.
Because I mean, I don't think that, and honestly, I really don't think that there are a lot of families that kind of operate like us. So that's why we do this show. And every week we're going to give you more of just the way we talk about things and how we have conversations, you know. So, hey, I'm going to tell
Do
you
we
this
have it all
right
figured
before.
out? Nope, we sure
Oh,
don't.
we don't have it all figured
Don't
out.
have it all figured
We
out.
don't have it, but the one thing we do have is love.
Yes.
We have love
What
for one
the
another.
world needs now.
And
Love, sweet love.
we may,
It's
not
about the
agree
only
with
thing.
everything that our kids do. They may not agree with everything that we do, but we're open to dialogue. Let's
Yep.
talk about it. And I don't even know whether on this show we may even get into some of those dialogues because but we're open, so we talk about everything. We don't even really censor what we say on here. We talk. This is what we do. Okay, this is what we do. Y'all just get at least one time a week that y'all can come join us and sit in our conversations. But I'm gonna tell you this before we get off. we got to have one more thing, okay? One more thing. I'm going to make this one little short piece here. We're going to add this on the end because it is that season. This is the season right now that you're going to go out there and you're going to place your vote, okay, for the next president of the United States. So I'm going to throw back in real quick by popular demand politics from a 12-year-old.
Oh, wow. Politics from a 12-year-old. And trust me, politics from a 12-year-old is so interesting.
It is because if you've never ever listened to a 12-year-old actually have anything to say about politics, then you're gonna know like this dude Trey Bees definitely has a different thought process when it comes to politics. So I'm gonna go ahead and hand it over to him. And hey, what you got for us this week as people go out here and place their votes?
Um, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So this week in politics, basically, um,
Well,
I'm sorry, he
um,
was making his blog post, his next blog post.
so I, I
that
don't
he was
know
making that nip.
if I don't know if you guys have heard, but Jeb Bush has apparently quit the race
Yes, he has.
for running for president.
Who's leading in the Republicans? Do you know?
Donald Trump, is
Yeah.
that
What do you
correct?
think about that?
Personally, I don't think that he should be president, but everybody has their own opinion. I
Of
don't know
course.
why they think that he should be president because he's allegedly is trying to have um, the Mexicans build a wall to keep them out of America and have the Mexicans build it and pay for it, and then they won't be able to get in. So I think personally that that's pretty stupid.
So
But
you said the Mexicans, right? You said the Mexicans are. He's saying that the Mexicans need to build the wall
mhm,
and they
pay
need to
for it.
pay for the building of that wall,
Mhm.
and then
They won't
They
be able
need
to
to
get
stay
in.
on the other side of it.
So I personally don't know how that works. But you know what? Everybody has their own opinion. The Mexicans might be voting for them to not be able to stay in the United States. I don't know. But that's what I think on Donald Trump. And
Democrats.
Democrats. Currently Hillary Clinton is at the top, and Bernie Sanders is coming in second place, even though I think there's only two in Democratic. So you have no choice but to be in second place.
If you ain't
If you
Um,
ain't
first.
first,
if
you
you're president,
last.
yeah. So um, that's what do you guys think about Hillary Clinton? Do you think that it would be good to have a first female president, the first female president ever being elected?
Well,
I mean, do I think it would be good to have a female president? Okay, yeah, sure, why not? But do I think it needs to be Hillary Clinton? I don't know.
Because Bill Clinton, she might have him doing all the work for her, and she's just putting it in. But Hillary Clinton won Nevada's vote.
Yeah, yeah.
So
okay. So look, let me say something real quick. All right. So here's the thing. Now, if you want to ask me, this is just Rich Bees. This is how I think. If there was supposed to be a woman president, there's two people who I think should run, and they should actually run together, and I think that they will win. Okay. Now, this does not mean this is one is president, this one is vice president, but this is what I'm saying. So either president or vice president, you could take your pick on which one you think should be the president and vice president. And matter of fact, hit me up on my blog. I want to hear what your thoughts are. But here it is. So I think that Oprah Winfrey
Oh boy.
and Michelle Obama need to run together.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. In the US of A 2016, that just probably would not happen. That's
Well,
and that's unfortunate though because they're both successful, intelligent women.
That's what I was about to say. You think the United States would want two powerful black women in office together?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That would be awesome, but I mean, if we think about right now, do you think they would have that?
Hey, there's a lot of things that people might not want, but they gotta take anyway.
I hear you.
But anyway, so
okay, so I have some fast facts about Hillary Clinton. Tell me if any of you guys knew this. Um,
Mhm.
so, do you know what Hillary Clinton's religion is?
Nope.
unaffiliated.
Methodist. Do you know what? Do you know where her birthplace is?
Nope.
Chicago, Illinois.
Mm.
Okay. Does anybody know how old Hillary Clinton is?
Like 60.
70.
Ooh, that's close.
How old?
68.
So
Wow.
she can
Um,
draw unemployment. I mean, not unemployment. Senior citizens. What's it called? Social Security.
I guess so.
um, she's actually very short. She's 5'7". So that means she's about as tall as Kaya.
That's not that short.
Yeah, that's not that short, and I didn't. I thought she was shorter than that.
She seems no. Okay. Um.
I don't want to know any more fun facts about
Okay.
Hillary
One more.
Clinton.
Do you know who Hillary Clinton's spouse is?
What? Are you seriously asking
Yes, I'm
that?
serious. Anybody got it?
Yeah,
For the win.
Bob Gore.
Yep, correct. We have a winner.
Well, everybody, that's politics from a 12-year-old.
That's true.
So, anyway, we thank you guys for joining. We thank you guys for being a part this week. And hey, make sure you go to our iTunes and subscribe. Refer to others and make sure that they subscribe also. Matter of fact, just grab their phone, go to the podcast app, and subscribe to it for them. That way they can check it out. But anyway, so we thank y'all again this week for joining us. Hey, come back next week where we're talking about something else. Would you look at that?
Just look at it.
Just look at it. Just look at it. Just stand there and look at it. Thank you. It's been another episode of another one.
And this episode was brought to you by Dynamic Works.
The quality you deserve. Period. That's a wrap.